In the previous class, we have studied about how France abolishes monarchy and becomes a republic, reign of terror, and a directory rules France. Did women have a revolution? From the very beginning, women were active participants in the event which brought about so many important changes in French society. They hoped that their involvement would pressurize the revolutionary government to introduce measures to improve their lives. Most women of the Third Estate had to work for a living. They worked as seamstress or laundress, sold flowers, fruits, and vegetables at the market, or were employed as domestic servants in the house of prosperous people. Most women did not have access to education or job training. Only daughters of nobles or wealthier members of the Third Estate could study at a convent, after which their families arranged a marriage for them. Working women had also to care for their families, that is, cook, fetch water, queue up for bread, and look after their children. Their wages were lower than those of men. If we talk about the participation of women in revolution, we can say that from the starting they were actively participating in the events which brought so many changes in the French society. Their hope was that because of their involvement it would pressurize the revolutionary government to introduce measures to improve their lives. Most of the women of the Third Estate, they had to work for a living, and for the working thing they work as seamstress or laundress. They used to sell flowers, fruits and vegetables at the market, or they were employed at as domestic servant in the houses of prosperous people. Most of the women, if we talk about, they do not have access to education or job training. Only the daughters of noble or wealthier members of the Third Estate, they could study at a convent, and after which, when their studies are completed, their families arrange a marriage for them. Those women who are working, okay, they also have to take care of their families, and they have to cook food for them, they have to fetch water, they have to queue up for bread, and they have to look after their children. So if we talk about their wages, it was also lower as compared to men. In order to discuss and voice their interests, women started their own political clubs and newspapers. About 60 women's clubs came up in different French cities. The Society of Revolutionary and Republican Women was the most famous of them. One of their main demands was that women enjoy the same political right as men. Women were disappointed at that the Constitution of 1791 reduced them to the passive citizens. They demanded the right to vote, to be elected to the assembly, and to hold political office. Only then, they felt, would their interests be represented in the new government. For discussing and telling their opinion, women started their own political clubs and newspapers, and there were 60 women's clubs in different French cities. And if we talk about the famous among them, it was the Society of Revolutionary and Republican Women. Okay, and the main demand of these political group was that women all enjoy the same political right as of men. And since because of the Constitution of 1791, it says that women are the passive citizens, so they were quite disappointed, and they demanded the right to vote, to be elected to the assembly, and they also want to hold political office. Only then they felt that they can put their interest, they can represent their interest in the new government. In the early years, the revolutionary government did introduce laws that helped improve the lives of women. Together with the creation of state schools, schooling was made compulsory for all girls. Their fathers could no longer force them into marriage against their will. Marriage was made into a contract entered into freely and registered under civil law. Divorce was made legal and could be applied for by both women and men. Women could now train for jobs, could become artisans, or run small businesses. The revolutionary government introduced laws that helped improve the lives of women, and they create certain state schools where schooling was made compulsory for all the girls. And at that time, their father could not longer force them for marriage against their will, and marriage was made into a contract and entered into freely and registered under civil law. Divorce was also made legal, and it could be applied by both men and women. And women could now good train for job, and they could also become artisans, or they can run small businesses. So these kind of things came in the early years of the revolutionary government. Women's struggle for equal political rights, however, continued during the Reign of Terror. The new government issued laws ordering closure of women's clubs and banning their political activities. Many prominent women were arrested and a number of them executed. In the early years, when the revolutionary government introduced new laws for improvement of the lives of the women, it's not like that women's struggle for equal political right is stopped. No, it is still continued because during the reign of terror, okay, the new government they issued laws in which they order for the closure of the women's club and they also ban their political activities. Many prominent women at that time were arrested and most of them were executed. Women's movement for voting right and equal wages continued through the next 200 years in many countries of the world. The fight for the vote was carried out through an international suffrage movement during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The example of the political activities of French women during the revolutionary years was kept alive as an inspiring memory. It was finally in 1946 that women in France won the right to vote. The abolition of slavery. One of the most revolutionary social reforms of the Jacobean regime was the abolition of slavery in the French colonies. The colonies in the Caribbean, Martinique, Guadeloupe, and San Domingo were important suppliers of commodities such as tobacco, indigo, sugar, and coffee. But the reluctance of Europeans to go and work in distant and unfamiliar lands meant a shortage of labor on the plantations. If we talk about the revolutionary social reform by Jacobean regime, it was abolition of slavery in the French colonies. The colony in the Caribbean, Martinique, Guadeloupe and San Domingo, they were very important and they used to supply tobacco, indigo, sugar and coffee. But because of Europeans to go and to work in different places in unfamiliar land, it causes the shortage of labor on the plantations. So this was met by a triangular slave trade between Europe, Africa and the Americas. The slave trade began in the 17th century. French merchants sailed from the port of Bordeaux or Nantes to the African coast where they bought slaves from local chieftains. Branded and shackled, the slaves were packed tightly into ships for the 3-month long voyage across the Atlantic to the Caribbean. There they were sold to plantation owners. The exploitation of slave labor made it possible to meet the growing demand in European markets for sugar, coffee, and indigo. Port cities like Bordeaux and Nantes owed their economic prosperity to the flourishing slave trade. Because of lack of shortage of labor, a triangular slave trade between Europe, Africa and the Americas started, and the trade began in 17th century where French merchants sailed from the ports of Bordeaux or Nantes to the African coast where they used to board the slaves from the local chieftains or you can say the leader of the group, and all the slaves were packed into the ships and they used to from into the ship for like 3 months long voyage and across the Atlantic to the Caribbean. There they used to be sold to the plantation owner and the slave exploitation was there and it made it possible to meet the growing demand in the European market for sugar, coffee and indigo. If we talk about the port cities like Bordeaux and Nantes, they own their economic prosperity to the flourishing slave trade. Throughout the 18th century, there was a little criticism of slavery in France. The National Assembly held long debate about whether the rights of man should be extended to all French subjects, including those in the colonies, but it did not pass any laws fearing opposition from businessmen whose incomes depended on the slave trade. It was finally the convention which in 1794 legislated to free all slaves in the French overseas possessions. This, however, turned out to be a short-term measure. 10 years later, Napoleon reintroduced slavery. Plantation owners understood their freedom as including the right to enslave African Negroes in pursuit of their economic interests. Slavery was finally abolished in French colonies in 1848. There was little criticism of slavery throughout the 18th century in France, and the National Assembly they held long debate about that whether the rights of man should be extended to all French subjects, which includes those in the colonies, but fearing the opposition from businessmen whose income is totally dependent on the slave trade, it did not pass any laws. Okay, it in the convention in 1794 it legislated to free all the slaves uh, in the French overseas possessions. So because of that, it turned out to be a very short-term measure, and 10 years later, Napoleon reintroduced the slavery. Okay, but it was finally abolished in 1848 in French colonies. The slavery was abolished. The revolution and everyday life. Can politics change the clothes people wear, the language they speak, or the books they read? The years following 1789 in France saw many such changes in the lives of men, women, and children. The revolutionary governments took it upon themselves to pass laws that would translate the ideals of liberty and equality into everyday practice. One important law that came into effect soon after the stormship of the Bastille in the summer of 1789 was the abolition of censorship. In the old regime, all written material and cultural activities, books, newspapers, plays could be published or performed only after they had been approved by the censors of the king. In year 1789, there were so many changes which happens in the life of men, women and children in France. The revolutionary government took upon themselves, they used to pass laws and they translate the ideals of liberty and equality into everyday practice. The important law that came into effect after the storming of the Bastille in 1789, it was the abolition of censorship. What was it that in old regime, all the written materials and cultural activities including book, newspaper, plays, it could only be published or performed when they have been approved by the censor of kings. Now, the Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen proclaimed freedom of speech and expression to be a natural right. Newspapers, pamphlets, books, and printed pictures flooded the towns of France from where they traveled rapidly into the countryside. They all described and discussed the events and changes taking place in France. Freedom of the press also meant that opposing views of events could be expressed. Each side sought to convince the others of its position through the medium of print, plays, songs, and festive processions attracted large number of people. This was one way they could grasp and identify with ideas such as liberty or justice that political philosophers wrote about at length in texts which only a handful of educated people could read. Because of the rights of man and citizen, it proclaimed the freedom of speech and expression. It is a natural right. So because of that, so many newspapers, pamphlets, books, and printed pictures they flooded the town. Okay, and they traveled rapidly into the countryside, and it was described and discussed whatever events and changes which are taking place in France with the help of these mediums. And the freedom of press is not only mean that you can put your view, but you can also opposing the view of event, it can also be expressed, and each side sought to convince to other that its position, okay, they want to convince each other's position through the medium of print. At that time, plays, songs and festive processions was very famous among the people. Why? Because by this way the people can grasp and identify the ideas such as liberty or justice and all these things, which whatever things the political philosopher wrote about in length in text, only educated people can read. So because of the help of plays and songs, they the ordinary people will also get to know about them. Conclusion. In 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte crowned himself Emperor of France. He set out to conquer neighboring European countries, disposing dynasties and creating kingdom where he placed members of his family. Napoleon saw his role as a modernizer of Europe. He introduced many laws such as the protection of private property, a uniform system of weights and measures provided by the decimal system. Initially, many saw Napoleon as a liberator who would bring freedom for the people, but soon the Napoleonic armies came to be viewed everywhere as an invading force. He was finally defeated at Waterloo in 1815. Many of his measures that carried the revolutionary ideas of liberty and modern laws to the other parts of Europe had an impact on people long after Napoleon had left. The ideas of liberty and democratic rights were the most important legacy of the French Revolution. These spread from France to the rest of Europe during the 19th century, where feudal system was abolished. Colonized people reworked the idea of freedom from bondage into their movements to create a sovereign nation state. Tipu Sultan and Ram Mohan Roy are two examples of individuals who responded to the ideas coming from revolutionary France. That's it for today's class. Thank you.